Imagine pretending to be like violently insane, letting spit run down your beard just so a rival king will kick you out instead of executing you.
Right, yeah.
That is the actual historical backstory of the ancient text we are looking at today.
It is just pure visceral survival. Yet the English Standard Version of Psalm 34 takes that frantic trauma and merges it with, well, absolute mathematical poetry.
Wow.
Yeah, and some incredibly practical life advice on top of that.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Ugh.
Our mission for today's deep dive is to explore how this ancient author took a completely chaotic, near-death escape and used it to build a timeless survival guide for navigating fear.
Right, the context is actually laid out right in the text's footnote. It says, of David when he changed his behavior before Abimelech so that he drove him out and he went away.
So he is literally running for his life.
Exactly, running for his life.
And you would naturally expect the writings of someone fleeing a kingdom to be, I don't know, a panicked brain dump.
You really would. But what's fascinating here is the massive contrast between that frantic reality and the actual structure of the text. This psalm is an acrostic.
Wait, like an alphabet poem.
Yes, exactly. Every single verse meticulously begins with successive letters of the Hebrew alphabet.
It's like surviving a terrifying car crash. And instead of just venting, you process the trauma by writing a mathematically flawless villanelle.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
I mean, why impose that kind of rigid rule set on something so raw?
Well, there are two reasons, really. Practically speaking, in an oral culture, an acrostic acts as a mnemonic device, a memory aid.
Oh, right, so the community can carry the song with them.
Exactly. But psychologically, when your external world is completely out of control, imposing an absolute rigid structure on your words is a mechanism to regain a sense of order.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
It really does. Writing an acrostic was essentially a way to exert control over a completely out-of-control experience.
So he uses this rigid structure to reclaim control over his mind. But then, when he turns to offer advice to his audience, he completely drops the strict intellectualism.
He really takes a hard pivot, yeah.
Here's where it gets really interesting. He pivots to a purely physical invitation. The line is, "Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good."
Right.
I mean, why rely on the physical senses instead of, abstract theology?
Well, think about what happens to the human nervous system during extreme panic. You dissociate.
Right, you just sort of check out of your body.
Exactly. And the best way to break a panic attack or process trauma is sensory grounding, tasting, seeing. These are physical actions that pull you back into your body, into the present moment.
Oh, wow. So from that grounded place, he immediately hands you a highly practical action plan.
He does. He says, if you desire a good life, you have to keep your tongue from deceit, turn from evil, and don't just wait for peace.
You have to actively seek peace and pursue it.
Yes, actively pursue it. Pursuing peace, however, is not a guarantee of a painless life. The text is surprisingly blunt about this, stating plainly, many are the afflictions of the righteous.
So what does this all mean? Because there is a serious tension here, right?
There really is.
The text promises deliverance, claiming he keeps all his bones, not one of them is broken, but simultaneously guarantees that the righteous will be crushed in spirit.
Yeah, sounds contradictory.
Exactly. How can you be physically protected but emotionally destroyed?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the text is redefining what safety actually means. It points out that even young lions suffer want.
Meaning even the apex predators of the ancient world face starvation and deprivation.
Right. The promise isn't a magical shield against fear. The promise is absolute proximity. You will face the fire, but you won't be abandoned in it. The divine is near to the brokenhearted.
That is a nice thought, but practically speaking, being crushed in spirit is still a terrifying guarantee.
It is, yeah.
I mean, it means this text isn't a magical force field. It's a survival manual for when the force field inevitably breaks.
Exactly. A manual that acknowledges the inevitability of chaos, but provides you with a structured, grounded way to endure it.
Which gives you a fascinating framework for looking at your own life and navigating fear and trouble today.
Oh, definitely.
So consider this. If an ancient writer used a strict alphabetical constraint to process a frantic, terrifying escape, how might imposing a little creative structure on your own stressful moments change the way you process your modern anxieties?